Hello, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about a main title achievements in medicine. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So for this lesson, I have provided you with a word bank that includes definitions and some notes for you to help you understand the meaning of these terms. You can find that on your course website. So the first one is cardiac. Cardiac can be either an adjective or a noun. It's referring to the heart or to the heart and blood vessels. So if we look at the definition, it should give us some clues. Cardia comes from the Greek word cardia, which means heart. Well, you may know the term cardiac muscle, for example. The next one is bypass. The definition is a surgical procedure to reroute the flow of blood around an obstruction, typically a blood clot or buildup, fatty material called plaque. So you've probably heard of the term coronary artery bypass graft surgery, for example. The next one is circulation. The definition is the movement of blood through the blood vessels. So essentially, what is moving through the blood vessels? It's the blood. What is the function of the blood? It transports oxygen, nutrients, and other substances to cells, and also transports waste away from the cells. The next one is eradicate. This actually has two definitions. One of them is to completely destroy or get rid of something, usually something undesirable like rats or weeds or bugs. Or the second definition is to free an area of infection, disease, or undesirable things. So in other words, to eliminate or to annihilate. The next one is fatality. Fatality refers to a death caused by a particular thing, such as an accident, a disease, or a drug. Or you can think of it as the number of deaths caused by something. For example, road fatalities. That would be the number of deaths caused by automobile accidents or collisions. The next one is goal. This really has many different definitions. In the context of medicine, it refers to a desired result or outcome that a treatment or intervention is intended to produce. So in other words, a desired result or a desired action. The next one is heart. In the context of our discussion today, it refers to the principal organ of the circulatory system responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. The next one is hypothermia. The definition is a condition in which the body temperature falls below the normal range of 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. So basically, a medical emergency that occurs when your body loses heat faster than it can produce heat. The next one is immunity. The definition is resistance to a specific pathogen, especially one that is acquired by exposure to a disease or by vaccination. So an example of this would be, if you were exposed to chickenpox, you would develop immunity to it. You acquire immunity to that pathogen. The next one is incubation period. This refers to the time between exposure to an infectious agent such as a virus or bacteria and the onset of symptoms of the disease that it causes. For example, the incubation period for COVID-19 is approximately 2 to 14 days. The next one is infection. This can be a noun or a verb. As an example, the definition of an infection as a noun is the process of infecting or state of being infected by a pathogen such as a bacteria, virus, a fungus, or a parasite. The next one is mortality. Mortality is the state of being subject to death. You can also refer to it as the number of deaths in a particular population during a particular period of time. For example, infant mortality. That would be the number of deaths of infants under 1 year old per 1,000 live births. The next one is operate. To operate, it's a verb. The definition is to perform surgery, or to work, or function in the way that is expected. The next one is oxygenate. Oxygenate. To oxygenate, it's a verb. The definition is to introduce oxygen into the blood cells or tissues. The next one is patient. This can be a noun or an adjective. It's a noun. It's a person who is receiving medical care. It's something or someone that is enduring something unpleasant without becoming upset. The next one is preparation. Preparation is the act or process of making something ready before it is used or before it happens. The next one is rejection. Rejection is the refusal to accept or the act of refusing to accept. So for example, in the case of organ transplantation, the recipient's immune system may reject the transplanted organ. The next one is release. Release can be a noun or a verb. As a verb, to release is to let something go or to give up possession or control of something. As a noun, it's the act of setting something free or giving it up. The next one is resistance. Resistance is the quality of being able to withstand pressure, stress, or force. The next one is symptoms. Symptoms are the signs and characteristics that indicate the presence of a particular disease or condition. The next one is surgery. Surgery is the treatment or procedure of the body by entering and operating on it, by cutting away, by joining together or separating parts. The next one is temperature. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of something measured on a thermometer. The next one is transplant. Transplant can be a verb or a noun. As a verb, to transplant is to move or to set a plant or a person into a new environment. As a noun, it's the act or process of moving a living thing, such as an organ or a tissue, from one part of the body to another, or from one individual to another. The next one is vaccine. A vaccine is a substance that is used to cause the formation of immunity against a particular infection. The next one is valve. A valve is a structure that controls the flow of blood or fluid in the body. All right, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section down below. If you found this video useful, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.